Hello, Swapan.
Can't hear you quite yet. There you go. You can hear us now, Swapan?
Yes, I can, Ken. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Janet.
Good afternoon, Swapan. We can only see half of you.
Oh,
Can you...
sorry. Yes.
That's better. We could see your eyes before then.
Well, I think we did have a bit of an interact, or something I was quite hurt about yesterday, and I just went off the rails a bit. But this has been ongoing with me for about 8 or 9 years. I've offered my services to district at least 3 times. The last one was about 5 years ago, and I don't have them documented. But anyway, the first time I think was with John Anderson. If you remember John, he used to be a Rotary Club of Leven member. He was president. Then he moved to Perth, Mootville, from where he became assistant governor. So I said to him that, I'd be quite happy, or would be quite happy if I could join the district team, especially foundation, because I think foundation is a great part of Rotary. Okay, I'll let you know. Nothing happened. And again, I think I told him twice. And the last time was about 5 years ago, Janet, and it was yourself. I told you twice that I wanted to join Rotary Foundation team. And I think the last time was we had a cup of coffee at Fettigill Fox, at which time I was having problems. I was setting up the thing in Bangalore, which has done, by the way, which has done fantastic and is doing great. It's going from strength to strength. They are doing fantastic work there. But so this is my grievance, is that why was I not taken on in district? And I've spoken to 2 relatively highly respected and high officers in district. Janet, you never came back to me with anything. At that time, her name was Carol Cooper, was it? Carol Stewart, sorry. Carol Stewart. She'd taken over from you, and I thought, okay, I'll join her team, learn the things, and then make things happen. Didn't get in. And, this is a very delicate matter, but do you know what these are?
Oh, the directories.
Yes.
Yes. I've got 22 out of 24 years I've been in Rotary. I can't see any Asian or non-white names. Why? And I know that there are non-white members in district, and I'm one of them. So that's my grievance.
So I guess the question is, how do we move it forward, Swapan? There are district posts. It would appear you're qualified for them. So there's nothing in foundation at the moment. There will be come 1st of July.
Yeah, okay.
I can't remember the role. It's Arthur's role comes free, Janet.
Yes. Arthur, as stewardship officer, will finish at the end of the current year.
So that comes available. There's the membership lead within the districts available.
I know you're leaving.
Well, not through choice, because I
not leaving. Yeah. You got better things, more responsibility to take on.
That's right. And there's an assistant governor's role come the end of the year for 8.
Yeah, well, Alistair Rob has already offered that to me. You see, I don't want to get in through dispute. I want this dispute ironed out. Yeah. I've served Rotary 24 years, going on for 25th year. I was president of the Rotary Club of Leven, 2002, 2003. And I'm now Rotary president of Kirkcaldy, which I think a great honor.
Yeah.
And I've helped in umpteen projects, several of them personally, and a large one, and I'm looking at another large one, hopefully within the next year or 2, supplying equipment to a very well-founded hospital run totally by charities in Kolkata. But that's to happen. But I don't want animosity but I felt very let down at the meeting yesterday. I didn't think I got the 3 minutes, and I felt that others got more than that.
Right. Swapan, let's just deal with the meeting yesterday, and let's deal with this issue of the timings, because
Yeah.
you're all right. As I was chairing the meeting, I was taking now chairing a meeting and taking notes and keeping orders, a lot of things to do. So what I did to keep things right was, as each president started to speak, I noted down the minutes at the bottom of my computer, and then when it got to 4 minutes, I would, if necessary, try and politely discourage them from continuing. Obviously, I was never going to be rude about that, and you don't stop somebody in mid-sentence. So I have a complete record of the numbers for how long each president spoke, okay? So Ray spoke for 3 minutes. Joan then spoke for 4 minutes. Yolanda then spoke for 3 minutes. Diane, as you remember, had builders in her house. She only spoke for 2 minutes. You came next and you spoke for 4 minutes. Elspeth was after you and she got 5 minutes because I had difficulty shutting her down. After that came Roger from Burnt Island and Kinghorn. He spoke for 3 minutes. Then Roger from West Fife, who spoke for 3 minutes. Then Brian from Kinross, who spoke for 4 minutes. And then Jeff from Glenrothes, who spoke for 5 minutes. If you remember, I had difficulty shutting him down as well. Then Alan from Dunfermline spoke for 4 minutes. And then Alana at the end spoke for quite a long time, but I gave Alana a bit of slack because she's new and she's young and she's not used to speaking in meetings. So of those, the only people who had more than you were Alana, Elspeth and Jeff, each of whom I made an effort to ask to discontinue, had at least as long as other than those. So there's no evidence there that you were treated differently. And I would take exception to the suggestion that I would have treated you differently for racial reasons. Okay, I'll make that point. I would take exception.
Okay.
That is not something I would do.
I know that. But the thing is, why did you not follow up when you told me? You remember,
Let's just finish with last night.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
At the end of the meeting, we were on the last item, which was district officers, and Ken was speaking, and about the post and the availability. And at that point, you asked to speak, and you asked what were the qualifications for the post. And Ken began to explain what the qualifications were for the membership post. He said it was a passion for membership. At that point, you interjected that you had wished to join the foundation team some years ago. I assumed, obviously correctly, that you were directing those remarks at me. I felt that to deal with that at the end of a meeting in front of an audience of 15 people was not appropriate. I wanted to get the meeting finished, let everybody get away. It was coming up for 8 o'clock. And that is why I said, I will speak to you about that offline. It was an inappropriate forum to deal with the grievance that you obviously have. And that is why, and I'm very happy to deal with the grievance here and now, but I wasn't happy to do it at the meeting last night at 8 o'clock.
Okay, I appreciate that and I accept your explanation about last night. The thing is, when you start to speak, you don't realize how much time you're taking up. So for me, it felt like I spoke for, very little, but as you recorded me for 4 minutes. And then I felt others were going on and on and on, and you were not interrupting, but you interrupted me to say, your time's up. Okay, that's what really hurt me, Janet. That's what started it all off. In my mind, I said, okay, I'm not going to be bullied here. I want people to know that I can stand for my own. And I've stood for my own in Rotary for 24, 25 years. I've worked in Scotland for 40 years, and without a complaint ever against me, right? So people have taken me as one of them. And my question is, why hasn't district taken me as one of them? That is the
So
that's a wider issue. If you felt at the meeting that I treated you inappropriately, then I apologize wholeheartedly.
okay.
My intention was to treat everyone as equally as possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's not always easy to do that when you're chairing 15 odd people and you've got get everybody through and speaking. I did my best. If I did that inappropriately and disadvantaged you, then I said, I can only apologize. There was nothing intentional about it. If I was more abrupt with you, I'm sorry. But I can recollect trying to get one or two of the others to stop speaking as well. Maybe I should have been more abrupt with them. But can we just put that one aside, in that if I did disadvantage you and the evidence is not there, then I'm sorry. At the end of the meeting, I'm sorry if I was abrupt with you at the end of the meeting. Again, I'm sorry, and we can deal with that issue now, and that's what we should do.
Okay, I can only tell you I appreciate that, you know, you were running a meeting very tight time, and you know, at the end of the day, evening, you know, everybody wants to go away, have their cup of tea, have their tea, and then, you know, relax. And I have been president of a group of doctors for nearly 10 years now, and we sponsor students and trainee doctors. They're given 7 minutes to speak. Okay, and they are run, the program is run, or the session is run by 2 other qualified consultants. I'm the president, and we have a general secretary and a treasurer, yeah, also on so forth. So what happens is that they are told well in advance, they submit an abstract, then they come and present once they are selected, and we only select about 5, and we give away prizes of 300, 200, and 100 pounds to the first 3. And the way it's run is very, very clockwork wise. We tell them you have 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, there will be a little bell. At 6 minutes, you'll be told 1 minute left, and then they stop. Okay, but in your case, I mean, okay, it's not that formal, but I think it's something, maybe something like that you might take up in future. If you're giving somebody 3 minutes, at the end of two minutes, ring a bell or put a hand up, or, you know, do something to give that person the indication that, you know, your time's running out. I did not get the chance to share 3 very good projects with the rest of the clubs. Okay, 3 very good ideas.
Very good suggestions, and I'll take. Thank you. These are very good suggestions, and I'll take them up for the future.
Yes, because
at a future meeting, we'll make some more opportunities for people to speak about projects.
Yes, yes, and the thing is, you know, that these I wanted to share with the other clubs, because these are things that they could also do. We are not a very active club, as you know. Our average age is well over 75 or 80, you know, old fuddy-duddies, but they are very, very, very passionate about Rotary. You know, we've had donations from members. 5 people donated over £4,000 because they're not attending. That money they're saving, you know, on the basis of that, you know, 5, I don't know how, because it was anonymous, where only the treasurer knows who's donated what. And basically what we said to members is, because you're not spending about 14-15 pounds every week, you're saving. So do you want to donate that? And it's volitional, because you know, there are some people who have been affected by COVID. Some are self-employed. They don't have any earnings. So there was no pressure. Believe me, within a week, we raised over 4,000 quid, and that's going up and up and up, because people are donating 200, 500, 300, whatever they can. I think that's a great idea, and all of this will go to Rotary Foundation. Okay, so, you know, I thought that was a great idea, but I didn't get time to share it.
Other people also had good ideas that they didn't have time to share, and I've had a few along those lines. So yeah, we'll make some more opportunities at a future meeting.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, because, you know, I wasn't totally prepared for the meeting last night. You know, I just said, okay, we'll just come in for an informal chat, and then I get carried away, and I thought, oh my God, people are doing, they need to know what we are doing, and so I wanted to share it. So I just got a bit emotional, because I think I'm a very strongly emotional person, and I've served Rotary emotionally since 1996. In fact, as I said, since 1992. But I grew up with Rotary. In India, you know, Rotary is so strong. Any other bus shelter you go to has been donated by Rotary. Any other toilet you go to public, it's donated by Rotary. All these, you know, the vaccine programs. When I was a student, smallpox was you know, eradicated in the 70s. And I know Rotary had a great deal to do with it. And, you know, end polio has been a passion of mine. If you look up, even in the last 4 or 5 years from Kirkcaldy, you would have more donations than you have had in the past, because I tried to push it. And we have a lot of sustaining members now, and all of that goes to Rotary Foundation, because cashier, past President Bill Stewart, and I, we promoted the sustaining member situation. And in spite of that, on top of that, we have foundation events, not big ones, like say a barbecue or a curry night, or a little theater or something like that. So I'm very passionate about Rotary Foundation. I didn't know much about it till I came in contact with you. I did know a bit, but your passion for Rotary Foundation really fired up my emotions, but I didn't get a chance to serve it. So that's that's been in the back of my mind.
Let me just deal with that then, because I'm very sorry about that. I recollect the meetings in the Fettykill Fox. We met in the Fettykill Fox, you and I, to talk about the dialysis project. That's what we were doing. We were talking about the dialysis project, and through those meetings we got that project forward. Because the information about that project came from me to you. You picked it up, and then I supported you to take it forward. It came from India via from India via me to you.
Okay.
I remember those meetings. They were very good meetings, and that was a brilliant project. For the life of me, Swapan, I can't remember whether I spoke to Carol Stewart or not. I'm not going to try and pretend to remember something that I can't. I would have thought that I would have spoken to her, but I cannot swear to it. If I didn't speak to her, and if I didn't pass on that information, then I'm sorry, because I should have done. And Carol, 5 years ago, that was just coming to the end of my term as foundation, and I was handing on to Carol. Yeah. And I should have, usually we're always on the lookout for foundation team members, and obviously you would have been a good candidate. And I don't know what happened there. All I can say is that I'm sorry if I didn't pass it on, because I should have done. But it is in the past, and we should really look to the future now. Of course, you should be a district officer. So I'd like you to accept my apology, which was for a genuine oversight, if that's what happened. And I really think we ought to pass back to Ken and start to look to the future. Right? You and I have always got on very well, and I would like to think that would continue. I do not want there to be animosity between us. That would be very bad. I'd like you to think about taking over as Assistant Governor for Area 8, because you obviously have all the skills and experience, but there are other things in district as well. So, can you accept that if I have offended you in any of these issues, I am genuinely sorry, and it was not intentional? So let's shake hands metaphorically, and let's move on and look at what you can do in the district in the future.
Thank you very much for that. Can I qualify this by saying that I have a lot of respect for you. You will recall when you were in in Carnegie meeting, I came and supported you, and then we met up at district meeting, and that Adrian Neville was your president at the time.
You gave me money, I remember.
It was a small donation.
We were sitting at dinner in the hotel in North Queensferry.
Yes.
And that was the first time I met you and your wife.
Yes.
I was telling you about fundraising for Empoleon now, and you flipping well got your wallet out and gave me money there and then. I do remember. Some things
I don't remember, because I do this sort of thing quite often.
Got your wallet out and gave me a £10 note across the table to encourage me in my fundraising. So thank you.
No, that's fine. Look, I have a lot of respect for you, Janet. I know your skills. I know what you've done for Rotary. It's just that I was offended that night. But having said that, I carried on a little offense, or a little, pain in my heart when you didn't come back to me, because I had a very hard time in Rotary. Yeah. I had to leave in Rotary, right? Which was very, what can I say, heart-rendering. And then I almost set up McLennan Buckhaven with Alistair Robb, and then I had to pull out. because of, certain reasons. Alistair Robb still says that I should have been there, I should be DG this year, and all sorts of things he says. But hats off to him, he's done very well in spite of his ill health and everything, So he's got my support, and I think I've got his support too. We've mended our differences. But no, you're a very capable person, and I have a lot of respect for you. And you were one of the attractions for me really to join Rotary Foundation in district, because I knew how hard you worked, how methodical you were, and how you did what you did to support clubs. All of these I felt very strongly about. And those meetings we're talking about, Fetty Kilfox, Old Manor Hotel, you coming to the club and you're speaking in between, and then sending off $10,000 in the global grant, you doubled it, and all sorts of things, which has been a very, very worthwhile project. And if I do get the opportunity, I would at some point like to highlight this, because this is, I don't know how many projects go on in the district that are then later highlighted to see how well they're doing. Have we got time? Can I just carry on rambling for a minute or two, Ken?
I'm okay.
Yeah, okay. So basically, our target was to have 6 machines and 6 beds. When we eventually ended up, you remember they donated so much in TRF funds. Yeah. So our target, our budget was, I think, $60,000. That went up to $130,000. So instead of 5 beds, we started off with 11 beds, a water treatment plant, and everything necessary, and a whole unit. And then over the last 5 years, they have added 4 more beds. So they're now 15, I think it's gone up to 16 actually. And there are 4 beds dedicated to HIV and AIDS patients and Hep C, etc. So that's the infected area, and the others are, non-threatening infections. And they're doing between 120 to 150 dialysis a week. They work in shifts, they work in 3 shifts. It's not only that, Nagendra, who was the lead from the other side, he has added on an OT department, all at his own cost, spending $30,000. Him donating personally. But he's been donating all through. But another important point is that all patients who come there get a free meal. And not only in that unit, in the whole hospital and another hospital, and they distribute around 9,000 lunches or meals a day. Wow. Free to the patients. So that's how good they are. And we here don't realize what's happening in India. I went to, you remember there was the Sri Lankan president, RI president, I forget his name.
Ravindra.
Yeah. Sorry?
Ravindra, was it?
Well, whatever his name was, that's not important. The important thing was I was in Bangalore at the time, and I was invited to attend a lunch that they were hosting for him. And I was invited by the Rotarian through whom all of this process happened with the dialysis project, not the lead, but somebody else. And when I went there, it was fantastic because he used to come to Scotland. He used to come to Tullis Russell because he's a paper, his business is paper orientated. So we got chatting this, that, and the other. And then later on, it was a fantastic afternoon meal. We had a great time, and there was no drinks, no alcohol, and it's great, and everybody's happy. Later, I realized that each person was being charged £100, not $100, £100 to attend that meeting, to support him, and all that money was to see him, and all that money was going to Rotary Foundation. That's how dedicated these people are, and I feel proud to be associated with them. So that's my spiel done. But Janet, okay, I think yesterday was a blip, but I think there was some emotions that I was hurt because of lack of follow-up from you, and I thought you were ignoring me. And then after last night, I looked at all this. I was trying to find any names. As you will see, I'm quite meticulous in storing things. I can't find any name, and my question is why. Sorry, Ken.
It's a good question, and Rotary needs to do more on diversity. Yeah. And you're absolutely right. And yeah, we're making big progress in bringing more women into Rotary and having more women in influential positions. And we need to do the same to have diversity in ethnic origin as well. And that's a big challenge to Rotary and to all of us. And I accept that. And our district is no different. So, you know, I've offered my apologies sincerely. I honestly can't remember what went on with the conversation with Carol. But, you know, I can't go back there and I can't revisit it. All I can do is apologize. And
Accepted.
Right.
No problem. You are my friend in Rotary. You will remain my friend.
Okay.
Somebody I look up to. Thank you.
And vice versa. You are someone whose friendship in Rotary I value as well. So let's go forward on that basis. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now let's get you into districts, right? Yeah.
Okay, Ken, you take over.
No, so very clear. It's very clear what your passion is. But I guess the real question for me is, I'm trying to get district posts filled for my year. So people coming into posts really sit for 3 years. So anybody we bring in now or up into the new Rotary year on the 1st of July helps me as well. So my real question is, what do you really want to do? Bill, if I looked at foundation, Bill's in his 2nd year, so he would have, I think, a third. He'll have a 3rd year to do. So there is one position will come up in foundation, but there are other positions. I mean, and we mentioned the 2 that are available pretty well immediately. I've not been back through the rest of them. The process for getting people really is, the secretary puts out an advert effectively between now and, so depends which roles. So for the district governor role, which will be 2023-24, that will come out, I think, the end of this month, beginning of October. So that will be district governor nominee at the moment. And that's, we'll be looking for people to put themselves forward for that. So you qualify for the likes of that. The AG roles, so you're in area 8, so technically it should be in area 8 if assistant governors of interest. And again, these should be applied for, and the club supports you in that. If nobody applies, it's in the district governor's gift to find somebody and appoint them from people they actually know. People can be supported, and the district support team needs to help with that. So the best thing is obviously getting your profile up, which you're clearly doing, and thank you for that. So really, my question is, where does your passion lie for coming into district? Is there a particular post on the basis that foundation chair's clearly not available for another year, but there is something there? So really, I'd like to hear from you.
Well, to be honest, this is a bit of a shock for me to be offered a post. Thank you very much for that. I'm honored. Can I just think about it and get back to you, say, in a week, 10 days time?
Sure.
I'm due to go into hospital for an operation, actually, as I mentioned to you, that I had a hospital appointment this morning. I was getting pre-assessed. Operation on the 21st. In fact, can we do it after the 21st? So today's the 4th. So give me 3 to 4 weeks time. Foundation is my passion, because I think, you know, Rotary does so much through foundation. But I think I'm possibly getting a bit on for it age-wise. I'm 66 now. So maybe, I don't know. I mean, what are the chances of me opting to be a DG and getting elected? Very little, because nobody knows me.
The DGN role, I am conscious 2 others will apply for it this year. The biggest thing in there is getting your profile up.
Yes.
And an assistant governor is a great way of doing that.
Yes.
Membership chair, for example, is a fabulous way of doing it. That's how I managed, for example. But I want to be clear that if multiple people apply, there will be a vote for that.
Yes, I know. We voted in the past, yes.
That's
But
right.
but can I just say, because you're offering me these options, so if I say I want to be DG in 3 years' time, can I say, will I have your support? And obviously, Alistair, Rob wants me. So
Of course. It's open to the best candidate. So in 3-4 years' time,
yes,
so whoever gets district governor nominee this year would be 2023, 2024. If you
okay,
want to leave it a year, it'll be 24, 25 that
yes,
we do that. And effectively, it's a 4-year journey by the time you have
yeah, but
nominee, elect, governor, and then the immediate past governor, effectively. But the biggest thing for that is getting your profile up in the district.
how do I do that?
Age is a good one. Membership's a good one, because membership, you're at all the council meetings. You go around the district so that people can see you and understand what you stand for. And you know, people have seen me in all the areas, talking about membership, talking about opportunities, talking about diversity, and the need to sort ourselves out. And I actually write demographic reports for, I've done 14 different districts in the UK now. And I'm currently on my 15th one. And,
Gosh.
and minority groups represented in the clubs is something I write on every one of them.
Okay.
So, but it's got to be best person for the job.
Right. I agree and appreciate that. I think at this point of time, I would possibly consider either foundation or assistant governor. Okay. I think I'll go for the latter, because then I'll have a good teacher. She will teach me in the next year what she does, and then we'll take it from there.
Yeah.
So,
being assistant governor would be a good way to get your profile up, and it would also mean that you would attend a lot of the district meetings, the district support team, and some of the things, and you would get to know the workings of district as well, which is also important if you're thinking about when the next steps up. And I would be perfect. I'd be delighted to hand on to you, and you know, we can work together over the rest of this year to prepare for that. So
okay. Okay, give me 3 or 4 weeks time. Let me speak to Nina and see what her feelings are. Because I think to be in Rotary, especially if I'm going to be in district, I need her to support me. And as you know, we don't have any children, so we are each other's support. And obviously, I need to ask her what her feelings are. Yeah. But I appreciate this meeting, and I'm sorry I blew my top. I'm going to write to RI just now and withdraw the complaint. And I'll let Alistair know as well that we've ironed out the thing. It was obviously a misunderstanding of some sort, and you know, okay, about not being included in district team, etc. That's been ironed out. But if you guys feel that I should, I have the capability or the qualifications or whatever to join district in some capacity, I will give it serious consideration.
You're obviously qualified, because you've done president twice. You've got the passion, and it sounds like if you've been president twice, you've obviously got the support of Rotarians round about you. So,
yes, I do. The clubs love me. I mean, my Kirkcaldy club members love me. I mean, we get on great. We have a great time, and you know, although we're not meeting regularly, we are arranging informal meetings. We're meeting in a pub, we're meeting in restaurants. And that was another thing I wanted to share with the area yesterday. It's not a formal meeting, but just a fellowship meeting, and you know, those sort of things. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I have the privilege of support from the team in my club. Yeah.
Good. And you're coming up to the 100th charter, I believe, is it?
Yes. Well, I'm the president. It starts this year. And celebrations start on the 11th of May. Okay. The club was formed on the 11th of May, and I think the charter was either that day or it was maybe a few weeks later.
So I'm looking forward to the invitation.
Yes, okay, you're on. I've never met you, but I've been very impressed since I've been joining the Zoom meetings, and I wish you good luck.
Thank you.
So you're going to be Is Heather not going to be DG next year?
Heather's next year, and I'm 22, 23.
So you're 2 years on.
I'm
Well, 2
so,
years on. Okay.
no,
Okay.
Heather's a year ahead of me.
Right. Yes, I know. That's what I thought. She's DG elect, isn't she?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for your time, and thank you for taking notice of my grievance. That is now ironed out, sorted out. I will write to Alistair within the next half an hour, and I'll copy you in.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for coming on today. I hope you appreciate why we've done it this way, and we've just had time where we can talk openly together.
Yeah.
So thank you.
You will realize that I'm not paranoid and I'm not biased or anything. It's just that I felt very let down, and I've been carrying this for 8 or 9 years, and because I wanted to serve Rotary, and so maybe will I be able to? Well, I'll speak to Nina and come back to you all. It'll be nice, Janet, to follow your footsteps.
I'm delighted to have you following in my footsteps, and I would be there to continue to support you after you did as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm well known for encouraging people and supporting them, and you would be no exception.
Okay.
And me too, because I even wrote the district mentoring policy. So
right.
I'm keen that people have got all the knowledge and understanding for the role. And as assistant governor, there is training in February, I think it is.
Right.
Usually each year for that. But we do hold monthly or 6 weekly meetings with the AG. So Heather and I do that just to make sure we're all happy and there's continuity with that as well.
Well, the good thing now is that we don't have to travel that far to have a meeting. So,
Absolutely.
My car's never done so few miles.
Well, I look forward to meeting you in person, Ken. It's been a pleasure. As I say, since you started the Zoom meetings, you are very calm and you conduct meetings very well. I'm hosting a meeting on Sunday for about 100 folk, which I think is going to be quite difficult to manage. But these are people in India that we went to the same medical school, and we have a group, and so we've opted to meet, and I'm hosting the meeting. So I'll try and take some of your tricks into the meeting. I already told them they'll all have to be mute, only one person at a time. So let's see how it goes. But once again, thanks a lot.
Okay. Very well. Good to see you.
And you.
Bye.
See you.
Yeah. Well, namaste, as they say in India, and thumbs up here. And let's be friends.
Let's be friends.
Yes.
Okay. Agreed.
Thank you.
Bye.
Janet, I'll be in touch. Yeah. Ken, thank you. I'll be in touch. All the best. And I'll write to Alistair just now and copy you all in.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.